Hello, Tarun. Good to see you pop up. Hello, Lisa. Hello, Letiza Chow. I'm good, Tarun. Thank you for asking. Hello, Graciela. Ciao, Giovanni. Hello, Claudia. Hello, Sandra. Welcome from England. Howdy, Valerie. Hello, Susie. Okay, well, welcome everybody. Today, so I do 2 sessions a week. I do one on Thursday and one on Friday. And that's to make sure anybody who misses it on Thursday can make it on Friday. And because many of you are coming from all different parts of the world, for example, Webkey is from Trondheim, Norway. So it's different times for everybody. I want to make sure you're all able to see and view and ask questions. Hello, Linda from Ohio. Hello, Misha from Russia. So today we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26. We have 28 colors. And what I'm going to show you is I'm going to start from buff titanium. We're going to go through the yellows. We're going to go through the oranges, and we're going to stop at our transition to the reds. One of you asked yesterday, and I'm going to push this down so you can see here. See? One of you asked yesterday about Tritium Blue. That's the new blue. It's supposed to be the bluest blue. And what I did, adjust this. I called my chief chemist, and we test everything. We get all the pigments from all over the world. Anything that's new, we want to be able to test it and see what it's like. So what I did is I asked my chemist Ron if I could take his Tritium, and there it is. And there it is right there. I'm trying to get this light. Let me change the light here, see if any of these work better. Maybe that one works better. I don't know what's a matter with this. It seems like I have a dark side over here today. Maybe what I'll do is I'll put my keyboard underneath that, maybe like that. That's not going to work. Anyway, I brought that, so we're going to look at it today. And I don't find it to be all that impressive, but I want you to see it. And then if it doesn't really come out that great on the monitor, what I'll do is I will scan it and put it up onto Facebook and YouTube and Instagram. Okay, so we'll look at this today. And here's what it looks like in the I just want to mention that if some of you aren't able to stay, then you'll know I went over it, and you'll be able to go to the post and be able to look at it, because I want you to be able to see it. There it is right there. It's in my opinion, it's a very light color. It's a very light color. And I'll put it down in mass tone today, so we'll really lay it out heavy. But there it is against a French ultramarine. And against a cobalt blue. So that's Tritium right here. That's what everybody's talking about, the bluest blue. And it can change from being baby blue to real blue. So it does have a variation. It's roughly $500 a pound for this. And Sue, who's in Medford, Oregon, this comes from, it was invented in Oregon. Our neighbor to the south, my neighbor to the south. And that is Indanthrone. And this is Phthalo. So, and that's the Atrium. So we'll be looking at that today. I just want to kind of show you a broad range of blues and kind of where it fits in. It is much of a baby blue. All right? So we'll look at that today. All right. So we're going to start by starting with buff titanium. let me get a Sharpie real quick because that was a really good suggestion. I'm not quite sure whether Sharpies bleed or not. If it bleeds, then maybe that'll do it like that or something. Maybe like that. So I'm going to draw a black line, and then we'll start with buff titanium. All right, just a simple black line. And we'll start with buff titanium. Okay, we'll start with buff titanium. Looks like something's not quite right today. It looks I have this darkness in this corner I don't necessarily have. And so that's buff titanium. This one is going to be nickel titanate. So we'll try that one out. And this is bismuth vandate. Okay. Hello, B from the Philippines. Hey, Mary, using your idea about the plate, I really like that idea. Okay, so let's start with buff titanium. But that brush didn't clean out that well. So we get okay, buff titanium. The one thing bad about this brush, a lot of the water goes up into the ferrule, and I still have a little bit of that red from yesterday that we were playing with. Okay, so this is going to be nickel titanate. Nickel titanate. You guys have taught me a lot, from using the plates to Claudia's always suggest about using more water. So I listen to what you say. Okay, this is bismuth vandate, such a super vibrant. So a little bit more opaque. Hello, Teresa from Dublin. My first experience of going to Ireland was both of your soccer teams were playing in the, I guess, the finals or the last part of the game of soccer. And I've never seen a place that was more crowded than Dublin was. Very pretty place, though. Okay, here's the next three. The next three are Hansa Yellow, Hansa Yellow Light, Hansa Yellow Light. We'll try that one. And then, might have this a little bit out of order. This is quinethalone. Quinethalone, which is not a quinacridone, it's a quinethalone. And then azo. Okay. first. Hello, Thea from Holland. I miss going to Holland. We usually go there every single year on our way to do the show in Germany. It's our first landing at Steppel Airport. Okay, and here's our ooh, that's nice and bright. Yeah, the buff titanium, right here, buff titanium, is really used, could be used for sand. It's used a lot. Many artists use it. In fact, if Stella comes on, or Claudia, or George, or Giovanni. This is Azo Yellow. Okay. So those are those three yellows. All that noise is me cleaning the okay, so our next three, we have Cad Yellow U, Cad Yellow Light U, Cad Yellow Medium U, and Arulian, which is Cobalt Yellow. So these Cad, the U's, these are all high performance pigments. They're very high performance. I don't use Cads anymore. I stopped that about 5 years ago. Maybe a little over 5 years now. So you'll see as we go along, we're making our transition more toward the, pretty soon we'll start going more toward the kind of orange range. That'll be the transition point, will be the Aussie Red Gold. So a little ways. That's the Cad Light. Oh, that's pretty. Can you see that? I don't know why it's dark on that side. It's almost like it's not, camera's not getting that part. There we go. Okay. Hello, Frank. And then we'll do one more down here. Cad medium. Okay. Oh, that's all right. Hello, Alexander. Hello, Teresa. Yeah, I was saying yesterday the yellows just make me anyway make me feel really good. They're kind of that hello, wake up kind of color. Okay. And when those dry, I'll show those to you before we leave today. Okay. Okay. So these three are going to be the Cad Yellow Deep, the Hansa Yellow Medium, and the Mayan Yellow. Someone asked me yesterday about the Mayan Yellow and why it doesn't have the pigment number, and that's because it was made by the university in Texas, and it's made with a still that clay infusion of a color into a clay. For example, the Mayan is the indigo infused into clay, so it's a process they have, and they didn't release that. However, we do put for the Mayan, we do put the pigment right here. Can you see that pigment? It's a hybrid pigment of inorganic and organic pigments, and that's issued by the manufacturer, which is the University of Texas. All right, so let's start with Cad Yellow Deep. I think it's a pretty color. It's almost like when I was in California, it's very close to what the school buses look like. And this is Hansa Yellow Deep. And these are put in the color chart per the C Lab, which I actually put onto the site. And if you ever wanted to, you could look at those. We'll go over those in a couple weeks. I'll go over how to read that, because that'll answer many people's questions about which one is hot, which one's warmer than the color, which one's cooler. You know all that as artists. For me to know that, I need to just plot it out really quickly. And it's very simple to do, and I'll show you how to do that if that is of interest to you. Okay, so here is the Cad Yellow Deep U. Cad Yellow Deep U. Okay, Cad Yellow Deep U. So the Mayan colors are extremely light fast. Can you blend them? Yes. The pigment, the particle is encapsulated, so you could do anything you could do with another paint with them. But I'll ask any of the artists with us right now if they've done that, if they could answer your question as well, because they would have a more practical sense of it as well. This is Cad. This is Hansa Yellow Medium. Hansa Yellow. This is Cad. This is Hansa Yellow Medium. Hansa Yellow Medium. So Gabriel, the information on the tube is really, for the most part, the information that's on the color chart. The color chart actually has more. And so if you're having trouble doing that, just let me know and I will get back to you. This is Mayan Yellow. Mayan Yellow. The black is the brush. It seems like my brush is coming apart. So Mayan Yellow. Okay, Cad Yellow Deep U. This is Hansa Yellow Medium, and this is Mayan. All right. Yeah, as we go over the colors, there's actually quite a few. There's quite a few Mayans, and we'll end up going over all of them as we go through the color chart. Thank you, Claudia. Okay, take those off. Okay. So the next three are going to be lemon yellow, and we're going to do Indian yellow, and then we're going to do Naples. And the Naples is kind of have what Giovanni was saying yesterday, which I've heard quite a few times from artists, is it can be actually of a skin color. Okay, so this one is lemon yellow. So let's look at lemon yellow. Lemon yellow. And here in front of me, maybe on the screen it does look like that. Here on the screen it looks just like a lemon. I went to Costco this morning, and if you're 60 and older, you can go in at 9 o'clock, and it's a way to just walk around. And they had lemons. They had just a 6-foot tall thing of lemons. They were just beautiful. The fruit is the colors of the fruit are just beautiful. This is Indian yellow. Indian yellow. This will be Indian yellow. Indian yellow. Okay, and this one is Naples. Naples yellow. Lauren McCracken showed me how to empty a brush, so you can decide how much material you pick up. And I was really good at that, except my hardwood floor now is all specks of all different colors where I was doing that. So I stopped because I make a mess. Okay. So our next three colors are going to be Hansa Yellow Deep, Hansa Yellow Deep, Iso-Indolene Yellow, and New Gamboge. I really like that New Gamboge. I'm going to move some of this water out of the way. It's amazing how many cups of water I go through. That's because I want you to see the pure color, so I'm rinsing out the brushes as well as I can get them rinsed. Okay, this is Hansa Yellow Deep. Hansa Yellow Deep. I'm thinking this one might look like the school bus. Hansa Yellow Deep. Okay. This is isoindoline. That's a pretty color too. You can kind of see in a way we're making that transition to the orange. We're not into the oranges yet, we're still in the yellows, but we're making that transition from buff titanium where we started to now where we're at isoindoline. That's a beautiful color. That's a good brush. Boy, it just holds that pigment really well, which is nice, I guess. This is going to be, let me get a new piece of paper and I'll do New Gamboge. And then we'll look at what we did. So Laura McCracken and Valerie did a, as did Claudia, as did Giovanni. He did a in the artist studio, and it's really interesting. If you have not seen it, I would recommend it because he shows you how to empty a brush. And what that means is you can load a brush, and then you can decide how much material you're picking up. So if I put some pigment down and I put water, I can decide how much this brush is going to pick up. And if you pick up too much water, then when you lay it down on your paper, the first thing that will come out, it's going to look light because the water is going to push the pigment to dilute it. So he actually does that demonstration. It's Lauren McCracken, and he's posted on the site, and I would recommend that. If you have questions about that, watch it. He's a very, very good artist, and he just loves to give information. If you can't find it, let me know, and I'll give you a hyperlink. I'm turning my lamp yellow now. Okay, this is going to be New Gamboge. New Gamboge. And let me put the yellow line down there too. Black line, not yellow. There we go. Oh, a paint puck ultimate rinse cup. Oh, that's interesting. So New Gamboge. I like this color. Sometimes you like color just because you like color. Okay. And this is Permanent Yellow. Permanent Yellow Deep. This will be Permanent Yellow Deep. Okay. Permanent Yellow Deep. Permanent Yellow Deep. And now the next one is going to be Aussie Red Gold. And the Aussie Red Gold is going to start us into the oranges. And we're going to do something with the Aussie Red Gold. If we do it as a mass, we won't quite do it as a mass tone because I'm going to mix it with some water. But if I do a really heavy wash, put down a lot of water, we can get that pigment to separate a little bit, and you'll see it move toward the why it still has yellow, because it'll look yellowish. So we'll play with that for a second here. And then once we move away from Aussie Red Gold, we're going to transition into the oranges. So Jody asked about New Cambodian. Why is there a new one versus an old one, or is there an old one? And just like anything, companies stop making pigments, and they do that for many, many reasons. Usually it's economics. Wow, this is going to be... So there is the Aussie Red Gold. It's a beautiful color. My God, it's just really beautiful. And I'm going to put some down and then really wash it out. Let me put some more water on there. So as we let it dry a little bit, we can see it does have that nice transition toward that orange. And if you get onto the outside of it, you can start seeing a little bit of the yellow in here. And our Aussie Red Gold right here has pigment yellow number 83, pigment red 101, and pigment yellow number 19. So that's why it has that yellow constituent to it. Okay. Raffaele, thank you. So Raffaele says, for the new gamboge, was discontinued by all color makers because of its lack of light fastness. It was a vegetable sap from a Cambodian tree. There we go. Thank you, Raffaele. Oh, I should have showed you that before I cleaned that plate. Okay, now we're going to transition into the oranges. And I will show you, no matter what, I will show you that Atrium before I log off. And no worry, if you can't stay on any longer, I will scan it and post it as well, so you see it. So not a problem. Okay, let's put that down there. There we go. Aussie Red Gold is beautiful. I think so too. All right, so now we're going to transition into the oranges. We're going to try Pyro Orange, Permanent Orange, and Cad Orange Yellow. Okay, we have 3, 6, 8 to look at. We have 8 to look at. So we'll do Pyro Orange, Pyro Orange, Permanent Orange, and Cad Orange Yellow. Alrighty. Is it out of focus? Yeah, it just sometimes just takes a second. I can see it trying to do it. It'll do it. I don't know why it does that. We'll put a color down and see if it goes back into focus. If not, I'll play with it. That might also be a bandwidth issue. Some of the internet providers are cutting down on bandwidth when they see there's a huge call. And let me play with it here. The Pyros are just gorgeous. I'll bring it up. It's trying to, and then we bring it back down again to see if it's going to focus. Let's see if it'll focus. Come on. Yeah, I have, my internet speed is really fast. It's commercial. So, but yeah, it's out of focus. And it's not the camera, because the camera is an autofocus camera. I think it's just the, let me try that. Okay, come back down again. Okay, so I'm going to paint them out, and then we'll see if it fixes itself. So this was the Pyro, and I won't leave without you being able to see it. That's the Pyro. Let me see if I can do this. What I can do with this, because I want to show that blue to you, and I want it to be in focus. Let me see if I can do the plate. Maybe the plate will help it autofocus. Come on. I would unplug it and plug it back in again. I think it's the speed of the internet, and I don't know how to change this from high def to regular. Push it down and see if that will autofocus it. That's cute. Lisa says, now you know how I see the world without glasses. Okay, come on. I was thinking about unplugging it, plugging it back in again. A tube on the paper. Okay. Oh, right about there's. Well, if that's what I have to do to get it that low, then I'll just do that. I'll push it down. See if that'll get it. No, it's still out of focus. Sorry about that. I don't know what it is, and I don't know how to fix it. Seems like it just has a mind of its own. Okay, so that's what they look like in the plate. Let me wash that. Oh, there we go. Ah, I have no idea why it does that. So there it is in focus. And that looks really good. So there it is in focus. Yeah. Except I have no idea how that, it's just, I think it's just the internet speed. They're messing with the internet speeds because of the COVID and how many people are on. I know there's a place where you can ask them not to mess with your internet speed. I've never done that. So now the next three are going to be Paranoia Orange, Cad Red Scarlet, and transparent Pyro Orange. And then I'm going to need some more water. Okay. So this is Paranoia Orange. Paranoia Orange. Can you see that? Paranoia Orange. Oh yeah, now it's doing this thing pretty well. So this is a synthetic. Ooh, that is just a bright one. Okay. And this is Cad Red Scarlet U. Cad Red Scarlet U. I know it says red, but it's still within that kind of that orange area. Some good semi-opaque. Okay, just a second. I need to get some fresh water for us. Okay. Oh, I'd love to hear about your experience with the Wandy when we come to it, Elisa. So I've gone through a lot of water. Okay, so now, boy, when it focuses really well. I love these really super tight lines. Okay, so this is the transparent Pyro Orange. It's a really pretty color. Transparent Pyro Orange. Transparent Pyro Orange. Here we go. Transparent Pyro Orange. Okay. Boy, that brush holds a lot. And there they are. So to clean that plate. We have two more left in the orange, and then I'll do the, we'll play with the blue. Okay, and the last two are going to be Mayan Orange and Organic Vermilion. Okay. And so I'll put the Mayan Orange right here. Mayan Orange. Okay, that's the Mayan right there. I can do that. So Denise says, will you do a, have you done? I have not, but will you do one with all the granulating colors? I'd love to, sure. If you guys want to see that, I'd be glad to do it. There's a lot of granulating colors. But yes, all the Permatex will be granulating. But I can do the other ones as well, the ochres, and yeah, absolutely. I'd be glad to do that. So this is going to be Organic Vermilion, and then we'll do the blue. Oh. Okay, Organic Vermilion. I'm afraid to move that camera because right now the focus is just so good. I want you to see the blue. Okay, and so with that, we are done the oranges. So we went through the buff titanium, through the yellows, we went through the oranges, and so next week we'll start transitioning through the reds. And then probably take a break halfway through, and we'll look at the granulating colors on that week. So we can just kind of add some stuff as we go along. So if you've got other ideas or things you want to see, let me know, please. I'd be glad to show them to you. Okay, I'm going to clean this plate off. Doesn't take much watercolor to go a really long way. There we go. So we're going to do the blue. Clean this brush off. So if you look at the color chart, if it says a Y, then they're going to granulate. You didn't see much granulation because synthetics, the majority of them are synthetics, and synthetics tend not to granulate, except for example the Lunar Black, which is a single pigment synthetic. But most of the colors that we saw today were synthetic and were single pigment. But if they're multiple pigment, they can. It is possible for them to granulate. At least if you can't find the answer for that, then I will get back to you offline and show you which oranges do. Okay, so we're going to look at the here's the blue, YINMN. So that is Atrium, Indium, Magnesium. That's what that stands for. It's supposed to be the bluest blue, etc. And it was discovered accidentally right here by a professor in Oregon State University. It's kind of interesting. That's what the pigment looks like. Okay, that's what it looks like. Here's the chemical makeup of it. It tells you that it can go from a deep blue to a very pale blue. There's the crystal structure of the pigment, the particle. Okay, kind of cool. I think it's really cool. There's never a test, so we just have fun. So here it is. Let's play with it for a second. So it is roughly, it's a little over $1,000 a kilo, so $1,000 a pound. It's not it is a new. So Alexander, someone asked me yesterday about the new pigment. It's supposed to be the Bluest Blue, and it's that one I just read to you. We tested it about 2 years ago, so it would be a new color for us. It's not one I think I might bring out. I'm kind of still up in the air about it. There's not really huge amount. Let's play with it. And then I haven't decided to bring it out. Let me get a brush. Where's a brush? Uh-oh. Turn that back on. Okay. So it's definitely not the most expensive pigment that we have. We have other pigments that are much, much more expensive, but it's not a cheap pigment. For example, this is $1,000 a kilo, and the ultramarine and the French ultramarine are about $9 a kilo. So let's see what it looks like here. I probably should do that on the plate. In fact, in a second, I'm going to do that. I'm going to put it back on the plate. I like that better. So that's what it looks like. Okay, and we can add a little bit of water to it. Let me show you what it looks like on the plate. So there it goes on the plate. There we go. And that's what it looks like. This is the Bluest Blue. It's the Atrium, Indium, Magnesium. So pretty pricey. It's roughly $500 a pound. it is. All right, I want to make sure I showed it to you. We probably look at, the two chemists probably go through, probably 100 different new pigments a year. So a lot of different colors per year, and for us to bring them out, they really have to offer something that's unique. Yeah, it's actually, $1,000 a kilo. It's expensive. It is an interesting blue. Yeah, I will give it that. So, I'm going to put this out of the way for just a second. For those of you that might have missed this morning, this is Cobalt. This is Phthalo Blue red shade. This is what we just looked at. Of course, when I did mine, I used a lot more. I used pretty good mass tone on mine. This right here is 1 part, all of these, they're in cards like this. It's 1 part paint to 10 parts distilled water by weight. And so right here, I didn't get anywhere close to that. I just used a very heavy load just so you could see it. And this is the Indanthrone blue, and this is the French. So here's the one we just looked at right here within these other synthetics. Okay. Oh, Alexander, fantastic for you. So Alexander's he loves chemistry. He's getting a bachelor's degree in chemical engineering. Fantastic. Congrats. So the YINMN is pretty much, price wise, it's a third of the price, because or at least half the price, because the lapis at 80% is about $4,000 a kilo, so very expensive. But that's because you're taking jewelry grade lapis and making it into pigment. And in many instances, you can make almost as much, you can make about as much money on the jewelry as you can on the paint. This is a synthetic. So the difference is this is a synthetic, whereas the lapis is a natural. The lapis is sought after in terms of jewelry, and this is a pigment, a synthetic pigment. But that's kind of where it lies within this area. It is kind of pretty, and again, it's different here than it is here, and that's just because the mass I put down more of in this area right here, where the brush was first laid down. So this is a really heavy load. I'm trying to show you here. I'm not doing a good job. This is a really heavy load I put down. I'm getting it all over my mice, and so yeah, it's an interesting color. Again, it wouldn't be like this out of the tube, because this would be very expensive. But let me think about that some more. If you guys really like it, I love artists. You can always find a use for something, whether it's for a sky or, yeah, so interesting. Let me think about that some more. But I wanted to show it to you because you had asked the questions about this particular pigment. There is one also it's supposedly is the blackest black, and I don't know if there would be what the benefit of that would be. But there you go. So with that, next week we will transition into the reds. I want to thank you all for joining me. You've made this extremely pleasant for me, and I appreciate it greatly. And it's part of the week I look forward to is Thursday and Friday when I'm with you. So thank you all very, very much. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your input. And I will see you next week. Please take care of yourselves, and I wish you all health and happiness. And I'll see you next week. Bye-bye, everybody.